guys, welcome back to Ravenclaw Reads. I'm Courtney and I am starting my new weekly vlog. I did not do one last week. Honestly, I have all the footage, but the only thing I did last week was commit to reading The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi and literally struggled so hard all week to finish that book. I got it from Book of the Month and I wanted to challenge myself in this text, and I don't say that I failed. I say I chose to DNF the book around the 250 page mark because it just wasn't a good read for me, and I don't think it was necessarily the language, more so the content. It didn't do anything for me, and so I DNF'd it with no regrets, and so that was fine. So there was no video last week because I didn't do much. I DNF'd it by Thursday, so I did read until that point. Then I took a little bit of a break, and then Friday, I started to read The Love Wager, and OMG, it's my first book done in April. I finished it on Saturday, and it was so good. I did rate it 5 stars. Love Wager is by Lynn Painter. She also wrote Better Than the Movies, which I didn't really enjoy, and so I was hesitant, but I'd heard so many good things about it, and I bought it on my Kindle, and so I decided to read it, and it was just a really great, well-written romance novel. It didn't give me the third act slump. It was good all the way through. The characters were great. I think Jack's my new book boyfriend. He's great. He was great in the book, and it was just well written. So that's what I read on Saturday. On Saturday, we had a huge snowstorm between Friday and Saturday. And so we woke up to 7 inches of snow, and we were kind of stuck because where we live, we have the HOA, landscaping comes and does the snow for us. And so while we can shovel the drive and stuff, the back alley was just, you couldn't drive on it. So we were stuck in the house until 4:30, which really threw off my day. But I ended up running by Barnes & Noble because I just wanted to browse and ended up picking 2 books up. So the first book I picked up was Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter because I had just finished The Love Wager, and I was like, I like her writing and this is going to be good. More to come on this book. And then I also picked up a classic, Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. This is one of my favorite movies. I love it. I could watch it over and over and over again. I thought I really wanted to just read the original book. So I don't have a timeline for this. Whenever the moment hits me, I will pick it up and read it, but I wanted to grab it. So then I started also my tandem read of Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn. I am really liking this tandem read so far because the moment you get kind of bored with one, you go to the next one. So this book is following Eileen, Selena, with her crew of misfits, right? They're going to the kingdom to sort of take down Dorian, I guess, or help Dorian. I'm lost on that part, but that's okay. And she's hooked up with Rowan. She's got Adian on her side. And she's got Lysandra. What is her name? You know what I mean if you're reading this book. And so they're kind of like the misfit pack coming for her title and to take over as queen. Although we just found out that even though Eileen is the next in line for the throne, she has to be voted on by the people of the other states. And so she doesn't just now automatically get it. This book is following Cowell and Nesrin, and they are going on their own journey. Cowell's been injured. Nesrin's the captain at this point, and so I like this book. I heard this book was boring because it only follows their journey, but I really liked Cowell, and I realized that I didn't finish the last book in its entirety, right? I went 400 pages, I read the summary, but I never understood, even from the other books, why we haven't addressed that Cal and Selena were getting comfortable with each other. They're basically dating, right? And then after the whole thing happened with the death at the palace and the murdering, and she just kind of turned on Cal, they just never spoke of it again. And we know that Nesrin and Cal had a past, and now in this book, they're kind of still having eyes for each other, but we've never like closed the page on Eileen and Cal unless I missed it, and I can honestly say I might have missed it. So I'm reading those. So after I went to the bookstore and checked out Mr. Wrong Number, I was like, I was just scrolling through my Kindle. Okay, come to find out, I already bought this book in January on Kindle. And so, number one, I was irritated because that's double purchase, although I will benefit from both because at night I can read the Kindle version, during the day I can read this version, but I don't usually like to buy both. I like to have, like, if I'm going to do a digital and a hard copy, it's usually from the library. But nope, I bought both. So that got me on another journey to go through all of my downloaded books from Kindle that I purchased that I forgot. And yesterday I came across like 3 or 4 books that I had forgotten that I purchased that I'm going to be reading because they've been in the depths. One is The Dating Playbook by Farrah Rockin. It's part of a 3 trilogy series. I've read 1 and 3, but didn't read 2. Didn't realize I owned 2. What's the other one? There's a couple more that were like really good books that I can't believe that I totally forgot that I had purchased and will need to be reading. And so that is a cautionary tale on buying randomly books on Kindle. You got to keep track of them somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do that moving forward, but it was like a little happy surprise that I had like 4 new books that I didn't know that I had purchased. Anyway, I feel good about April so far. I think the month is starting off really well. I'm also reading on Kindle that Dark Love series. My sister and I are reading it. I'm on chapter 12, and so far we're kind of getting dual POV, 2 sort of scorned exes. I guess they're kind of living parallel lives now after whatever happened in the relationship. We haven't gotten there yet. And they're going to cross paths again. And it's okay. I can't DNF this book, though, because I always DNF the books my sister picks out. She won't allow it to happen. I just can't do it. But it's just okay. It's like a 400-plus page book. I'm in the 100-page mark area or just before the 100 pages, and it's okay. I'm waiting for something to happen right now. It's just a lot of building, character building, setting up the scene in the shop. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I am going into the office today for a little bit. I have kind of a busy week, and April in general is just a lot more in-person days. And so I'm mentally preparing for that, but it is going to be a great day, great week, feeling productive, energetic, and ready to tackle it. So I will try to hop back on later if I get some more reading done, and I might jump on the sprints tonight. You never know. Okay, talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. Today is Tuesday. It's early in the morning. I'm just getting the day started, and I didn't hop back on yesterday. It ended up being kind of busy because I was kind of in and out, but I think what I forgot yesterday in my rant about all of the books that I found was like to tell you what I'm actually reading. So let me pull up, so I have my other Kindle out, the newest one that I got, to tell you exactly the books that I found on my Kindle. So I told you guys yesterday that I had found The Dating Playbook. So I've been reading that, and I'm about let's see, 11% into that. So I am reading that actively at night. I also found The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I think I downloaded that 2 years ago, maybe 3, hoping to read it during quarantine. I also had The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams, which I have had on hold at the library for months, and I've eyed it at the store. I've already bought it. I also bought The Hating Game, which I never finished reading. I wasn't loving it to begin with, but I might come back to it. And then Neon Gods had been on temporary hold because I was listening to it on audio, which I'm going to start today again, pick that back up. So currently, I'm reading several books. So I'm reading The Dating Playbook, like I said, at night. I'm reading Chasing Love, part of the Dark Love series, and I'm about 26% into that. That one's a chunky book. There's 400 and some pages in that. And then I'm also doing my tandem read back here of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. Now, yesterday, I was able to read 2 more chapters from Tower of Dawn. So now I'm back to Empire of Storms. And based on the first couple of chapters of this book and then the first chapter of the last one, I was really loving Tower of Dawn, but now I kind of see why it's boring. And I'm really more excited about this book. And so I think it'll probably go back and forth as I continue to read through it. But like I said, I do like the idea of the tandem books because when you get sick of one, you go to the next. So that's been good. So yeah, I'm going to be listening to Neon Gods, pick up where I left off, and hopefully finish that as another book this week. But since I'm reading like 4 books at once, I probably will, it might be a minute before I actually finish a book unless I hone in onto one. So I have to make a decision, but that's what's happening so far today. Yeah, I'll check back in later. Good morning and happy Wednesday. I literally am so tired today. I don't know why. I've been going to bed early, but it's just been gloomy the past couple of days, and I love a good gloomy day, but I've just been tired. Anyway, so yesterday I really tried to take a chunk out of the dating playbook. That's my romance novel that I'm reading that I found on my Kindle. And it's pretty good. I am, let's see how far, I got to update. I was reading on different Kindles. I want to say I'm like 33% in, and it's probably going to be like a 3 or 3.5 star for me. Like I already know because it's giving typical romance novel. And like I said before, I've read the other books in this sort of trilogy story, and they just kind of follow the same format, right? So it's like fake dating that turns into real romance that's gonna collapse, and then they're gonna come back together. Like I already know that's gonna happen. But I'm still into it. However, I feel like I'm reading it slowly. So today I popped on Libby to see if they had it on audio, and they do have it on audio. And so I'm going to listen to it on audio today while I work. I have lots of like paperwork things to do today. I have some meetings as well. And I think it'll be an easy listen. I did try to listen to Neon Gods at work yesterday, like while I was doing my stuff. And it was hard to follow because I do listen to it sped up. Yes, I could slow it down, but slowing it down really drags it out for me. But it's the accents and the speeding up that's really throwing it off for me. So today my goal is to finish the dating playbook so that I could focus on the other reads. I didn't read much of Chasing Love, which is the Dark Love series yesterday, because it is a buddy read with my sister and she didn't have as much time to read it the past couple of days, so I didn't want to rush it. And then I didn't pick up any of the Throne of Glass series at all yesterday. So my focus is the dating playbook. Generally, I have several books that I'm reading at a time, which I love. But if I really want to finish, I have to hone in on one. So I have these 3 sort of books, 4 if you count the tandem read books going. But like I have to finish dating playbook today so I can move forward. Yesterday though, I did get book mail. My book of the month came in. And so I picked up this book. It's called Romantic Comedy, a Novel by Curtis Sittenfeld. And so I am excited to read this. I can't forget what it's about. It says, okay, this intrigued me because it reminds me of like Pete Wentz in a way. It's like the sketch comedy actress is on a show with some like nerdy guy, and this really super famous superstar starts dating him, and then he like kind of starts changing or something like that. So I'm excited to read this. It's pretty short. It's a thin book, so I will read this month. But excited to look into that. But like I said, today's all about the dating playbook, so I'm going to pop it on right now before my first meeting and dig into a productive Wednesday. Good morning and happy Thursday. This is my favorite day of the week, winding down the week. Yeah, it was a good reading day yesterday. I did finish the dating playbook. I had it on audio, and that helped a lot. I ended up giving it 3 stars. It was just mid. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. I felt like I kind of could predict what was going to happen, and it exactly did happen that way. And like I said, I read the other 2 books in that series. So now I've read all three, and I don't love it. I don't love the writing necessarily. The author just doesn't stand out for me, but it was a nice little parlay into the next voyage of my books for April. So after I finished that, I did read more of Empire of Storms. As I've mentioned several times, I am tandem reading both Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms. And so in this tandem read, you just go back and forth. I got this little cheat sheet. I just Googled like tandem read Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn, and it tells you what to do. So yesterday I read chapters 9 and 10 in Empire Storms, and now in Tower of Dawn I'll read chapters 4, 5, and 6, and then I'll go back to chapter 11 of Empire Storms. And so the reason this is because people say that Tower of Dawn is a bit dry when you read it on your own. Because these things are happening at the same time, it makes sense to have them going together. So in Empire of Storms, we are with Selena and her ragtag crew, and we just met two new people. Lachlan and what's the girl, Marion, who was, Marion was kind of captured by Manon, who's like a dark force and was being trained sort of under her, but I think she's run away. Lachlan he seems like he's demi-fae, and he was going to like catch her, whatever. They're partnering up, it seems like. So lots of new characters in this Empire of Storms. I do not like the Manon storyline at all. And honestly, when Manon comes up with the Manon chapter, I'm doing the lightest skim possible because I don't care about that storyline at all. Tower of Dawn, I started out really liking the way this was going because I like Cal. I wanted to know what was going on with him and Nesrin. And this one is a bit dry, as it had been mentioned before, but I was like, no, it can't be, and it is a little bit. So we will see. So my goal is to continue Tower of Dawn today and really knock this out over the weekend. I know I won't be able to finish both of these over the weekend, but getting a good chunk done. Then I also started Mr. Wrong Number, and if you recall, I purchased this and then realized I had it on Kindle. So it's great when I want to read at night. I can just turn off the light and look at my Kindle. But this is really good. So then I found out that this is like the first book, the book that comes before the Love Wager. So this follows Olivia and Colin, who I know in the Love Wager end up getting married. Not a spoiler for me because I'm still excited to see how this goes. But definitely very cute. And I like Lynn Painter's writing, as I discussed before, and so I'm excited to continue reading this. So this one will be pretty easy, I think, to get through. And then after that, I think I'm going to go to my Book of the Month Club book while I'm still doing the 2 books from Throne of Glass. And I kind of want to do those before I move on to another fantasy so I don't get my mind sort of shifted. Although I could do like the Rick Riordan one because I already know what that's about. It's not like a whole bunch of world building. It's still middle grade. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but excited to be done with the Dating Playbook. So far, I've read 2 books this month and it's the 6th. And so I feel great about that. And yeah, tonight, we don't do reading sprints on Thursdays anymore. So tomorrow night, I'll try to jump on a reading sprint. Or what I've been doing is if I miss one, I pull them up later and follow along with the sprint then. So anyway, that is what I'm starting for Thursday. I'll try to check in later. Hey guys, welcome to Saturday and the end of my vlog this week. I did not vlog anything yesterday. I had a busy day outside the house and I honestly didn't get much reading done. But today I was able to finish Mr. Wrong Number. A little disappointed in this book. Honestly, I ended up rating it 3 stars. As I mentioned before, this is the book that comes before the Love Wager. I didn't realize that until the characters were the same. And it just wasn't good. It was very, very predictable. And the writing just wasn't as good as the Love Wager. Now, when I read Lynn Painter's Better Than the Movies, I was not a fan of that book. I know everybody raved about it, and I wasn't a fan. So I was surprised I liked Love Wager and surprised that I had bought this on my Kindle, as I mentioned. But Love Wager just was different. And I don't know if it was because it was so long ago between reading Better Than the Movies and Love Wager, but this one just gave me the same way I felt about Better Than the Movies. It wasn't that great, and I was just really trying to get out of this book, and so I ended up reading it digitally most of the way. I didn't like it too much, so 3 stars, 2.5 really, if I'm being honest. Don't mind my stickers. We were decorating Easter eggs today, and we'll be celebrating Easter tomorrow while you're enjoying this vlog. So thanks so much for joining me for another week of reading. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below if you're reading any of the books that I have read, or what you read this week. And as always, thanks for commenting. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to all my new subscribers. I post on Thursday and Saturdays, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.